I think it's completely reset the board in terms of how we think about software, how we think about technology.
So if you look at the recruitment tech trends, what are the biggest three you see at this moment?
The three biggest things are all the one thing. It is artificial intelligence. It has reset the board in terms of how we think about technology. And the reason why I'm confident to say that, you can simply speak to the people building recruitment technology today, and Martijn, I've never seen them more excited other than this moment. They are like kids right now. You have CEOs that are coding in their weekend, they're back in the garage, they're excited about this. So I think two things have happened, three things have happened, same thing. Number one, it's been released to the public, so we as consumers have had direct access and usage of a lot of these technologies, and we've all had our minds blown. Number two, we've had previously existing recruitment technology companies completely pivoting their roadmaps having seen this technology. There isn't a recruitment tech company today that isn't building some AI, generative AI component to their software. So they've completely, literally left turn on this, having seen the impact and power of this technology. And thirdly, we're starting to see an explosion of natively generative AI products that were never anything else other than this, but being built on top of OpenAI's API, and they're going to change the game for us. I mean, it's interesting, exciting, scary times for recruiters.
So scary times for recruiters. Is it if you don't go with it, is in a couple of years the end of your job, or?
You have to lean into it. I don't think I wouldn't like to say to anybody it's the end of your job, but I do feel that if you don't embrace this, you will basically be almost disposing of a toolkit that could be very useful for you. And I'm actually reminded very much of the first era of the internet. When the internet first arrived, I'm old enough to remember that period. I'm sure you are as well, Martijn, if I don't mind, you don't mind me saying. But basically, remember, the telephone was once like the primary way in which we did the job. That was the technology of how you do the job. And the best recruiters were the best telephone guys. Internet arrives, email arrives, search arrives. Suddenly the skills shift, and the best recruiters become the people that can search the internet and can write a great email, and it's become written communication. Telephone not so important anymore. And the telephone guys that didn't go with the internet are probably no longer doing the job anymore. We're at exactly the same moment today. There's going to be great recruiters irrespective, but the ones that don't embrace AI at this point, I think a couple of years down the line, they'll be doing something else.
Yeah. And is it within 1 year, 3 years, 5 years?
We can't judge. It's moving so fast that I don't think anybody would be comfortable to put a number to it. Every estimation seems to be ridiculous a week after the fact, because something else has happened that has moved the marble further, faster forward. What we're seeing now, I think, is basically almost a positive innovation feedback loop. So as there's more AI out there, the AI is actually supporting the production of more innovation. If you look, for instance, at one of the earliest applications of GPTs is actually in code production. So now software is being produced at a much faster and higher rate than before using AI. That means more technology is getting produced, and therefore it's feeding in amongst yourselves. And is there a human being in charge of this? Probably not. I see it like a runaway stampede. We've just got to figure it out. Almost treat it like a force of nature now, and understand that this is the thing that's going to reshape the landscape for us.
Yeah. And ChatGPT also make the adoption of AI in general makes it go much faster.
Well, I mean, Microsoft is going to release 365 Copilot in however many weeks, however many months, and when they do that, that will be the super spreader event for AI. You will immediately deploy AI to hundreds of millions of people. Anybody using Microsoft Word, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel, anybody using those tools will suddenly have a digital assistant that is able to actually talk to you, or you can talk to it in normal language, and it will produce outputs for you that would otherwise take you days or maybe even weeks or months to do before. So that is going to happen, and when it does, I think the penny will drop to anybody who's still a doubter. I think the doubt will disappear, and then we'll think, okay, what does the world look like now?
So how about your weekly newsletter? Is it Hung Lee still, or also a little bit AI?
I've made a commitment it's always going to be Hung Lee. And by the way, I am not immune from this disruption, from this wave of technologies. I actually firmly believe there'll be a huge challenge for the work I do, because the amount of AI generated content, I believe will supersede human generated content in a very short period of time. That's going to lead to an engagement crisis because we'll be overwhelmed by content. We don't know which one to choose or whatever. My own sort of angle around that is to say, I've always been me, I've always written in this way, I've always spoken this way, and I hope that that generates some sort of social exchange with the people that interact with that. And I believe that's going to see me okay, but I'm not that confident, right? It's like, hey, I have the same target as everyone else. It's a big disruptor.